Nobody indeed. What is good? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you tonight. Breaking out everything Sunday night football featuring the Green Bay Packers taking on your Dallas Cowboys. And let me just tell you, today has been insanity in the NFL. What we referred to this morning as week 4 starts, I finally got tape on your ass week. And that's exactly what we're seeing across the board. The Tennessee Titans head coach, buddy, let me tell you, dead man walking. Just going to let you know. All right. That was the most embarrassing and worst performance you could have put up in a game that really mattered to the owner. I don't know when it's going to happen, but the Titans coach is fired. He's done. Brian Callahan. I don't know when they make it official, but you can go ahead and consider that man dead, done, gone, out of here. Yep. That's going to do it. And Brock Purdy just blew it again. This has been crazy. What about the Kansas City Chiefs? All types of insanity. We're going to talk more about it. But if you've had a crazy day, I have too. And I'm standing right there with you. Good evening, AB. David says, David, my boy, good to see you, man. Big Brian said, good evening, crew. I hope some of you tailed my Ryder Cup picks. They all won. Well, that's a good place to be, my man. For everybody that followed, Big Brian is the man. In regards to golf, Brian, we sure do appreciate you, buddy, big time. All right, let's jump into it here. So we've got the Packers at your Dallas Cowboys here. Packers 7-point favorite, a money line price for the Cowboys of plus 275, and a total of 47.5 over under. So where are you going? What are your thoughts on this? You see a spread of 7. You see it at 6.5 in some places, but yeah, pretty much across the board, 7. And then a total of 47.5. We played that over 46.5 this morning. It has now jumped, obviously, 1 point here. So, yeah, drop it in. Put it in the chat where you're going with the game and what you think. All right, let's jump into it here. Big Brad said, what up, gang? Hope y'all bet goal scorers from detail. Dude, we were talking about that this morning. You absolutely smoked it, man. And Ben smoking it, too. Japan Packers team total, I like that. Pat says, Brian, nice. Congrats, man. Soldier, today is awful for me, guys and gals. Save myself and save my day, folks. Hey, it's craziness out here, big bro. I think they missed the playoffs. The Ravens, yeah. 1-3. Brutal. Curtis, my man, still hungry for getting in the club Thursday. Absolutely. Curtis, it was an absolute pleasure putting your name onto the board there. Congratulations again. All right, let's jump into it. So, everyone, drop in your thoughts here across the board. On the Packers and the Cowboys. So breaking this down, you know, what you're going to see from a game perspective here, Packers coming off of a loss to the Cleveland Browns. And quite frankly, the problem was points in the offense, right? Now, Cleveland's defense is good, but I would expect the Green Bay Packers to come out firing. We're going to speak how they are going to do that and how to bet that accordingly by breaking down their offense. Same thing with the Dallas Cowboys. They need to score. They need to score, and that's about their only way of winning. So let's figure this game out together, and we're going to jump into it right now. So let's get into the picks. All right, now, if you guys could, hit the like button for me. It would be unbelievably massive. I will not ask you for anything else, but if you could do that, it would be huge right now. YouTube will push us. If you're watching on your phone, just grab the screen, pull it down, hit like, pop it back up, man. I won't ask everything else. Appreciate you big time if you could do that. All right, let's jump into it. Packers money line and Dak Prescott interception, minus 105. I put these together, most of them at DraftKings, but I use BetMGM as well, so playing those accordingly. Josh Jacobs, anytime touchdown. Moneyline parlayed with Jordan Love, 200-plus passing yards at plus 100. I'm going to take Dak Prescott over 236.5 passing yards tonight at minus 105. I'm also going to take Dak Prescott over 2.5 rush attempts at plus 135. I got that at BetMGM. Some books aren't giving it to you and offering Dak Prescott. BetMGM is, and a couple others are as well. Give me that over 2.5 plus 135. And then finally for the morning show, Packers-Cowboys over 46.5. Again, I mean, I don't hate over 47.5. I think the only route for both of these teams needs to be points. But again, glad that we jumped on it this morning at over 46.5. All right, so let's jump into the game here. Big Jason said, I'm taking the Packers team total plus the game total. Yep, I feel you there, man. Cyclone said he had the taco bar out today for people. That's how you do it right there. Taco bar, always a positive. Now, let's break down these two teams in terms of scoring this year, okay? So you take a look at the Green Bay Packers. Again, you can see 27 points, 10 points, all right? They need to get themselves back to scoring 27 points a game. You could see first half team, they get up a lot of points. Second deal, fourth quarter, they're big in that as well. They did not score in the first quarter, nor the fourth quarter last week against Cleveland. So I'm going to tell you that is going to be an emphasis for Green Bay tonight. Is going to be starting this game with points and finishing this game with points. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be lunatics. It's Matt LaFleur. He's a pretty conservative coach. That being said, though, he's also pretty proud of his offense and what he wants to accomplish and get done. So I would expect Green Bay to try and not score 0 points in the first quarter. All right, now you take a look at Dallas' second quarter team. That's where their points have been coming from. Second quarters, historically in the NFL, are the highest scoring quarter comparatively between the first, second, third, and fourth. So that makes sense. Now, take a look at the fourth quarter. All right, 20 points in that comeback versus the Giants. But in week 1, 0 points. In week 3, 0 points. Matter of fact, they didn't score a single point in the second half against Philly, and they didn't score a single point in the second half against Chicago. So, what is Dallas's plan of attack going to be? Start early, all right, get points in, and then finish the game with points. It's the same deal. Both of these teams have to get going, okay? So they have to start strong, and they have to finish strong. I would pay attention to the first quarter and the first half in regards to this game, because why would you feel each other out? Screw it. Screw you. Look, if I do me, there's nothing you could do about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset, quite frankly, that both of these teams want to have. We're going to talk more about how Dallas is going to do this, but that's how I would expect Green Bay to approach this game. All right, so breaking down the quarterbacks here. Let's take a look, man. Jordan Love, over under 235.5 passing yards comparatively to Dak Prescott, 236. Pass attempts, 29.5 for Jordan Love, 36.5. Notice the difference here, okay? Completions, 20.5 for Jordan Love, 24.5 for Dak Prescott. All right, longest pass, okay? 38.5 yards for Jordan Love. 33.5 for Dak Prescott. Interception, plus 120 for Jordan Love, minus 170 for Dak Prescott, okay? So pay attention here. Now look at the passing yards, pretty even. Look at the attempts and completions. Start to build a little bit of a delta, a little bit of a difference, right? 29.5 compared, I mean, it's 7 more attempts, basically 4 or 5 more completions, right? So yeah, notice that. And Josh Jacobs is going to have a big piece to do with that. We're going to talk about the running game here in a second. But, expect Green Bay to be as balanced as possible, because that's their route for tonight. Now, Dallas is going to try to do the same thing, but there's a good chance that Dallas has to end up throwing. All right. Javonte Williams, we're going to see what he does. Remember Micah Parsons? You remember that trade? Yeah, he's playing in this game tonight, okay? So we've got that to pay attention to as well. But again, yeah, you see the difference in the numbers, and that's quite frankly going to be in the second half. The books are telling you they think there's a good chance that Green Bay's playing from ahead and Dallas is throwing the rock, all right, trying to come from behind. So pay attention to those numbers. Now, looking at the running backs, all right? Josh Jacobs for Green Bay, Javonte Williams for Dallas. Look at the rushing yard difference here. 72.5 for Jacobs, 49.5 for Javonte. So that should go ahead and tell you right out of the gate. 18.5 rushing attempts for Josh Jacobs, 13.5 for Javonte, 14.5, 12.5 respectively, longest rushes. Anytime TDs, look at the difference here. Minus 210 to plus 165, 2 touchdowns. Jacobs plus 255, Javonte plus 1,200. So again, the books are telling you, I mean, those are respectable numbers for Javonte Williams. And remember, we're playing Dak Prescott over 2.5 rush attempts. So it's not like the books are counting on Dak Prescott to get a bunch of rushing yards. They're going to be throwing it in the air. Now, here's the deal. Look, let me just say this. My boy, Big Blake Leroy, said we need more Vandy talk. Blake is my absolute dude. I love him to death. I think he's sitting with Randall and Burke right now. I'm going to come see you guys after the show. Yeah, Blake, big Vandy guy. All right, so, yeah, you see the difference here in the touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, again, we played him for an anytime touchdown, in the two-leg parlay because minus 210, yeah, not going to be able to play him, right? But 2 touchdowns for Josh Jacobs is not a bad play tonight. Now, be careful. It's risky. Touchdowns are kind of like home runs. You know what I mean? But that being said, Green Bay is going to want to be efficient and just handle business. You know what I mean? So they're not going to be going crazy in the red zone. They're going to be looking to run the football and be safe as much as absolute possible. I think Josh Jacobs props tonight are solid. Look, and I think Javonte Williams is running better than maybe I kind of thought, or maybe others kind of thought. I don't know. There've been a fumbling issue with him, but I don't know, man. I mean, I don't hate it, but with Dallas, I mean, I'm just looking more towards the pass. It just, man, scares me a little bit. Now, taking a look at rushing yards, Jacobs, Williams, we talked about that. Miles Sanders, 17.5. Pay attention there. Jordan Love, 6.5 rushing yards. Dak Prescott, 5.5 rushing yards. All right. So, yeah, they're not expecting a lot from the quarterbacks tonight. Rush attempts, yeah, you only get the 2. All right. Receiving, Romeo Doubs, George Pickens. Remember, there is no CeeDee Lamb for Dallas, and that is a massive thing for Dallas because CeeDee Lamb does a lot. Now, I'm not saying that their offensive game is going to be stopped, but CeeDee Lamb is pretty important. That being said, all right, Romeo Doubs, 41.5 receiving yards. George Pickens, 60.5 over under. Receptions, 3.5 for Romeo, 4.5 Pickens, 19.5 and 21.5 yards, respectively, on the longest reception for both those guys. Anytime touchdowns, plus 195, plus 155 for Pickens. 2 touchdowns, Romeo, plus 1,400, plus 1,100 for Pickens. So George Pickens is your X receiver. He's your number one. Well, he'll be the XY, possibly even the Z, but he is your guy. Now, there's others, and we're going to show them right here, but you see the difference there, 41.5, 60.5. Why is that? Because, well, you've got some names here, right? Not the biggest names in the world, but dudes that can absolutely hawk yards and receptions, right? So we talked about Pickens. Jake Ferguson there, over under 52.5 receiving yards. Matthew Golden, the Packers, 47.5. Kraft, 45.5. Doubs, 41.5. Wicks, 39.5. Yeah, keep going. Turpin, Tolbert, Williams, Jacobs. Yeah, you see it. Receptions here. Ferguson, 6.5. Leading the front there for Dallas. Tucker Kraft, 3.5. Same as Romeo there. Javonte Williams, 3.5. Dontavian Wicks, 3.5. Turpin, etc. So, yeah. Pat says, holding my breath for a Bears win. That Bears-Raiders game is kind of wild. I'm keeping up with my phone as we're going here. Okay, so we've taken a look here at quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. Elliott said, how about those Chiefs? How about them indeed, man? They look good. Now, let's throw the picks back up here one more time, and let's start talking some parlays. All right. So, Packers money line, Dak Prescott money. Packers money line, Dak Prescott interception, minus 105. Josh Jacobs touchdown. Jordan Love, 200 plus passing yards, plus 100. Dak Prescott over 236.5 passing yards. Dak Prescott over 2.5 rush attempts, plus 135. And the Packers and the Cowboys over 46.5. Okay, so let's now jump into some parlays. And I need you guys' help on the Green Bay side. All right. It is brutal out here today. And with this Packers number, it puts us in a weird spot because 7 is a big number to bring down to a money line. You know what I mean? So I need your help here. Let me know Green Bay wise, because Dallas, there's some great parlay options, but Green Bay is tough if you're playing a spread or anything, right? So I just wanted to introduce these and let's break through it, right? If we like some, we like some. Also, if we don't, in terms of the pieces, yeah, let's figure out what we got, right? So the first one, bottom left, Packers minus 4.5. We're going to take that number down from 7. Josh Jacobs, anytime touchdown. Jordan Love, 220 plus passing yards, plus 218. So you see it. Packers parlays are hard tonight, man. They're hard. All right, let's go up to the top here. Plus 305. Again, all right, Packers minus 6.5. All right, we're going to take that number down from 7. Josh Jacobs, again, anytime touchdown and over 47.5. That's plus 305. All right, then finally, Packers minus 4.5. Dobbs, anytime touchdown. Dak Prescott, 1+ pick, plus 525. So what do you think? Like, they're pretty basic, but again, you guys, know how I get down in regards to, I like to just set the table with basic parlays, and then we can work from there. You know what I mean? Randall, when are we going to talk about the Savannah Bananas getting the number 1 overall seed in the first ever Banana Ball playoff? So, all right, so Randall literally just landed, just got back. He took Tiff and Knox down to Houston to the Savannah Bananas game. And, dude, they spent the weekend down there. It looked awesome, man. Can't wait to hear more about it. But Big Randall down there in Savannah Bananas at the Astros Park, the old juice box. I love it, man. All right, so those are the 3 right there we have for Green Bay. Philly Mike, OG, Malik Neighbors will have the season. God, what a contrasting day for the New York Giants. Jackson Dart comes out here. By the way, I'm out in Survivor. Done. Chargers gone. What a win for the Giants. Brian Daboll, I swear to God, this dude has 9 lives. Yeah, no doubt, man. That's brutal. Malik Neighbors, I absolutely hate to see that. Absolutely hate to see that, as anyone would. All right, Cowboys side. Now, take a look here. So, if you're looking to play parlays tonight, and you're feeling even just a little bit with the Cowboys, you can absolutely smoke some parlays tonight. All right, so let me show you what I messed around with, man. All right, bottom left, first one. Cowboys, move that spread to plus 10.5. Okay? You're going to get the hook, and you're moving it over 10. George Pickens, anytime TD. Dak Prescott, 200 plus passing yards, plus 310. Top one, plus 405. Cowboys, plus 7.5. Again, we're going to take that hook. All right? George Pickens, again, anytime TD. But feel free, you can move that TD piece around, right? Like if you like Javonte Williams or Ferguson or whoever, right? Just kind of set the table with it. But plus 405, Dak Prescott, 2+ passing touchdowns. And then the bottom one, all right, Cowboys, plus 10.5. Again, 10.5. Javonte Williams, anytime TD. Dak Prescott, 2+ passing touchdowns, plus 525. So again, right? So the Cowboys, man, you have options. Again, I do think that we're going to have, like, this is a yardage game. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to be moving up and down the field. So if you can find your value with the Cowboys, right? Like, if you can kind of weave the right road, dude, you can make a lot of money. A lot of money. Yeah. So let me know if you like any of those. Soldier said, I just keep clicking the like button. Hey, I'll tell you what, everybody, if you could hit the like button, that'd be great. If you hate me, hit the dislike button twice. Appreciate you. All right. Jump into the no-fly zone. We're not even going to jump into the intro. I want it right here and raw because we need to break down these offenses, okay? All right, take a look at the Dallas Cowboys secondary rankings on the left. It ain't good, Hoss. Ranked 29th in the NFL short left, 32nd in the NFL short mid. That's worse in the NFL. 11th short right. And pay attention to Jordan Love's passing chart against the Browns, or against the Commanders, I'm sorry. Deep left, 28th in the NFL. Deep mid, 19th. Deep right, 27th. Let me just tell you, the Dallas Cowboys secondary been having some problems. That's why they have to score a lot of points. Now, let's take a look at Jordan Love, and I want to look 2 weeks ago. I don't want to look at the Browns game because, quite frankly, that's not the Green Bay offense, and it would do nothing but lie to you. This is what Green Bay's passing attack looks like. 2 weeks ago, Jordan Love, 19 of 31, 292 yards, 2 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Okay? Now, this is a larger passing attack than normal. Green Bay likes to stay balanced. They like to run the football. So don't expect a massive passing night in regards to, 38 attempts, 31, complete. Like, the Green Bay offense is not trying to do that tonight. They might have to do that tonight, but they're not looking to do that tonight. They want to run the football. Tell them, look, AB, Packers have so many wide receivers. How do we decide? I'm going to break it down for you in just 1 second. So you take a look at this offense, okay? And what this offense is built to do is it's built to run the football and then absolutely destroy your secondary, whether you're in man or zone. Jordan Love is absolutely lethal in regards to his efficiency. He likes throwing short, and then he likes tossing it deep, all right? I know that that's basic information, but Jordan Love can make literally every throw. Now, what he likes to do is attack angles, attack boundaries, okay, because it's safe. They don't want to throw over the middle of the field. Bear down. The Bears win. Blocked. Man, Raiders fans, I'm sorry. Bears fans, congratulations. All right. So, again, what you're going to see is running the football first, okay, and then passing. Corner left, corner right, boundary left, boundary right. Not so much boundary left as much as the right because a right-handed quarterback throwing across his body. But I want you to see what the Packers' passing attack looks like. Now, Jordan Love, okay, in his career, pretty good passer. Look at that middle of the field. Not many NFL quarterbacks are green in all 4 quadrants. He is. Over 100 QB rating. He's lethal, but they don't throw it across the middle all that much. But when they need to, they will. Where he gets into trouble is intermediate deep left and short right. Short right because that's usually when you're fleeing out of the pocket. Crazy things tend to happen. But that intermediate left's a tough throw. For right-handed quarterback, you throw it across your body. That's generally 20-yard pass in the air. And that's just going north and south. You're also throwing it at an angle, so it's even further than that. That's the deep out, one of the toughest passes in the NFL. So it makes sense. But that being said, all right, look at the boundaries. Okay, that is where Jordan Love is going to attack. So if I were coaching the Packers tonight, I would start here and say, look, number one, it misspelled the word aggressive, so we apologize on that. That being said, though, all right, spell check didn't catch it, but the Green Bay Packers need to be balanced. Run the football first. Josh Jacobs, give him every opportunity. You winning is going to be Josh Jacobs going over 18.5 rushing attempts, right? You want to stay balanced, but you want to attack Dallas, and you want to keep them on their heels, and they have no idea where you're going because you could do it all. Josh Jacobs' workhorse game. You want to feed him the ball. Feed this dude the rock, especially in the red zone. Don't make mistakes when it's important. Just slow down, punch in touchdowns, okay? Deep attacks. Use the deep ball to open up the run game even more. If Green Bay opens up this game, absolutely efficient, striking the ball down the field and scoring, Dallas is going to be, they're going to be in immediate throw it 1,000 times mode. Pay attention to that. Boundary passes. We just talked about it. Jordan Love, he absolutely uses the sideline to where, you got your wide receiver using his body. Sideline over here. It's either going to be him catch it or gone. Tizzle. Dallas only allowed 700 pass yards the last 2 games. There you go. 3 stars out of 5 for Jordan Love to throw a pick tonight. Now, let's break down Dallas. Look at this chart. Okay, so Green Bay, secondary. 17th in the NFL short left, 26th short mid, 12th short right, deep left. They are first in the NFL. 10th deep mid, 16th deep right. This ain't bad, right? It's a pretty decent secondary. Dak Prescott, he's going to flood the whole field. Now, where Dallas likes to attack is not only the boundaries, but they love the middle of the field. They love. Now, that was CeeDee Lamb, and that's what he does. But that's what that passing attack is built to do. It's built on safe, catchable passes, and yak, okay? Yards after the catch. So take a look. This is Dak Prescott against Chicago. 31 of 40, 251 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He did all of that throwing 7 yards and in. That's what you're going to get. But they're going to move with pace, and if they're running the football, watch out. Dak Prescott can absolutely tear people apart, right? Now, you can turn it over a lot, too. That being said, Dak Prescott's a vet, man. He's been here. Tizzle, yeah. Cowboys typically play well in these primetime games, even more so at home. Absolutely. Look at their quarterback. Like, Dak Prescott is not Patrick Mahomes. But, my God, there are a lot of quarterbacks worse than Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? This dude can chuck it. And he's been in pressure games. And he's spent his whole career playing for Jerry Jones in Dallas. This man ain't scared of nothing. You know what I mean? But that's what you're going to get. 7 yards and in passing attack. Use the middle of the field. Yak. Now, Dak Prescott is a thrower. All right? Pretty good as well, man. Middle of the field. Get a little hairy there. Intermediate, but short, deep. He's good. Deep left. Actually not too terribly bad. Middle of the road in regards to the NFL, but that's where he's going to get into trouble. He's going to get into trouble deep left, deep mid, and short right, because that means Micah Parsons is probably chasing his ass all the way down. So pay attention to Dak Prescott. He's going to have to throw it a lot. You're taking just a massive chance. Like, Dak Prescott could have a great game and also throw 2 picks. You know what I mean? Like, that's the style of the game. But what Dallas wants to do, if I were the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, this is the game plan to win this game. Can we run the football? Seriously, I want to run the football. We have to run the football. We cannot beat teams in the NFL, especially the Green Bay Packers, all right, by being 80% pass, 20% run. You got to run the football. Own the time of possession. Running the football will help you. And Green Bay's defense might give you a little bit. They might have a little bend but don't break there in the middle of the field, right? Own the time of possession, because you're keeping a lethal offense over there on the sidelines. Now, you got Micah Parsons right on the field, lots of other good defensive players. But that being said, Dallas could do it, all right? But you got to own the time. You can't let Green Bay just run amok with the clock, because they'll just bury you, and you won't have the ball. Pressure's on Green Bay. Remember that. They're coming off a loss. And, again, 7-point favorites. Not that that matters. That being said, though, Green Bay needs to win this game. And, buddy, you've got the arm that could really put them into some trouble, right? Do that. Put them in trouble. Be aggressive. Have fun. Intercontinental routes. What do I mean by that? All right, flying New York to Los Angeles. Intercontinental route. That's what Dallas operates in regards to their wide receivers and even tight ends to an extent. Okay, what do I mean by that? They run a short 3, 4, 5, 6-yard route and then try to yak it. All right, yards after the catch for like 60 yards. Crossers, right? Trying to go across the middle. All right, so you've got your wide receiver positions, all right? You got an X wide receiver, a Y wide receiver, and a Z, right? Now, you could often interchange. Your Z could be a tight end. Your X, your Y. Your X is generally, that's your one. That's your big time. You know what I mean? But, yeah, coming out of that Y, coming out of Z, you're going to see all of it with Dallas tonight, and you're going to see them right across the middle. They're going to flood the hell out of the middle of the zone. Right? So watch Green Bay, and especially their linebackers, because you're going to see linebackers and you're going to see defensive ends that suck in weird spots, because you're putting a lot of bodies in the middle of the field. But then it's like, okay, who are we rushing? Who are we dropping? Like, where are we going with it? You know what I mean? So if you like to watch that kind of attack, or that kind of a chess matchup, watch Dallas coming to the line, Dak Prescott looking around, pointing, like finding the rush, moving a receiver, you know, in whatever you call it. God, I can't even think of it. I got too many things on my mind. In motion. All right. And what they're doing when you bring a wide receiver or a tight end or whoever, even a running back, in motion, right? So if you're Dak Prescott, you got a wide receiver coming this side to that side. What they're doing is to check the safety, right? If the safety follows your wide receiver from right side to the left side, that means they're in man coverage. If he doesn't follow him, probably in a zone. You know what I mean? So you're going to see that. Then you're going to see Dak identify Micah Parsons, among others. Just watch that chess matchup. That's going to be the absolute most fun part of it. All right, on the type of possession, pressure's on Green Bay. Intercontinental routes, 3.5 stars. I'm sorry, for Dak Prescott to throw a pick. Okay, now take a look at penalties here. Let's take a look at the Cowboys first. Offensive holding, unnecessary roughness. You got to cut those out. Now, the rest of them, again, look, a lot of one-time penalties. That's going to happen. 7 holding calls. Come on, bro. Got to cut that down a little bit. Unnecessary roughness. That's just unnecessarily stupid. But Dallas is all right. Green Bay, you take a look here. Offensive holding, 26th in the NFL. That's an issue. False start, 29th in the NFL. That's an issue. You've got to clean that up. All right. These self-made mistakes, they'll hurt you, man. So I would expect Green Bay to have paid heck of attention to that in practice this week. Offensive holding, pay attention there. Okay. All right. Now let's get the picks back up. For anybody who may have missed them. Boom. All right. Packers money line and Dak Prescott interception, -105. Josh Jacobs, anytime TD, plus Jordan Love, 200 plus passing yards, plus 100. Dak Prescott, over 236.5 passing yards, -105. Dak Prescott, over 2.5 rush attempts, plus 135. Packers-Cowboys, over 46.5 at -115. All right. Now, the most fun part of the show is we got to get down for touchdowns. Now, how this game works is this. All right, you have to select the first touchdown score of the game. Look at NFLHD.com. I'm trying to get in the mix. What is that? That's a joystick. Is that a bank? Is that a house? Joystick house football clock. Uh-oh. Toggle the bank. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that, but apparently we're going to have a financial issue tonight during the game, so please, be aware of that. Okay. I love the bots. All right. First touchdown, plus 1,000 odds or more. So let me put up the club and everybody that's in. Big Spencer, Kilgore, Zach Phelps, Matt Logan, Wayne Bianca's got 3 of them. I'm in. It's just me's in. Dan Clark's got 2 of them, Big DC. Ian Lights Out, Peggy Moore. Big Mosh is in. Father Whale is in. Marshall is in. Double Down is in. Lydia's in. Chicago Pat is in. Cyclone's in. Big Dave Sherapin is in. And my man Curtis G in the crew. All right. So these are in the club. Now, how it works and getting inside the club, either drop your pick in the chat now or drop it into the Discord as well. If you want to sign up for the Discord, sorry, my camera's inverted, but just scan that QR code right there. It's completely free, and it's arguably the best betting Discord of the game. So, all right, NFLHD.com again. Oh, they're going back to the Globe, Football Globe. The old tried and true. Okay, so let's see. Let me pull up where the Howie Schwab play went. Crew play. You see in the chat. Where did you go? Tucker Kraft, plus 1,200. Tucker Kraft, plus 1,200 is the selection. Okay, so Tucker Kraft, play for the Howie Schwab crew. I'm going Jake Ferguson, plus 1,400. Yep, I'm going Dallas side. Give me Big Ferg. 1,400. Let's go. Okay, let me leave the club up here. Now, start dropping them in. Who you have, like I said, you could drop them in here into the chat, or you could do it into the Discord and check. Drop those in so that we have them. Tizzles on Golden, plus 1,300. There we go. Big Brian, he feels you. Matthew Golden, first TD. Big Mosh is going Dontavian Wicks right there. Big John is going Romeo Dobbs. Like it. Matty Boy, I was literally in the process of tapping out by AB's restraint and giving bot shout outs. Then this. Zach's going to Wicks. Plus 1,400. TJ likes Kraft. David, Matthew Golden, 1,200 tonight. For me, he's getting in the club tonight. Big David, let's go. My man Jason Griffith's going. Matthew Gold popular tonight. Father Whale, Jake Ferguson, I'm with you. Dubs plus 1,000 chalky. Yeah, it is. Oh, but it's okay. You're right. You're playing by the rules. Golden or Kraft TD do both score tonight. All right, Matthew Golden seems to be the popular choice. Kraft is too, though. Tucker Kraft for Pat. You're got you there. Big Curtis, Jordan Love, first TD plus 3,000, going back to back. There we go, baby. Big Jeff going Kraft, first touchdown. Double down going Romeo Dobbs. Japan, Packers defense plus 3,300. Big Tracy Morgan going Tucker Kraft. Cyclone, Golden plus 1,200. Going to have the Golden Diamonds. By the way, who's arguing? Nobody is. It's just the best. Absolutely. Martez, no TD for Golden. Pat, anyone taking Micah Parsons sacks? Yeah, who's jumping on that one? Exactly. If you're not in the Discord, what the hell are you doing? That's a great question. Or both Golden and Kraft. Look, I think the crew's voting both. Little Al, yeah, Tucker Kraft. Spitzer, not Davian Wicks. There you go. Jared's going Romeo Dobbs. Zach, Fanatics says Parsons 1+ sack and Packers money line plus 140. I like that a lot. Big Gabe, Vontae Turpin, first TD. All right, there you go. Got you in. Big Ed, George Pickens. All right, I like it. Super Kick going Kraft. All right, there we go. Big Wayne, got to ride with the crew. Take Tucker Kraft, 1,200. There you go. Michael going Packers defense. All right. Yep. What do y'all like about Golden as receiving yards or touchdowns? Yeah, drop in. What do you think? Where would you go with Golden? You go in yards or TDs? Prince, another under 20 World Cup. Not enough consistent data. Big Ian's going. Tucker Kraft. Wait, Fergie's by other option. There we go. Patrick, my man, going Turpin plus 2,500. There we go. Big John said receiving yards. Martez. There you go. Pat, Alicia Thomas under 8.5 rebounds plus 100. Perfect. What team does she play for? Marshall Green Bay defense plus 2,500. There we go. Prince, Josh Jacobs, first tutty. Gabe, Micah Parsons first. That would be crazy. Reed, first team tonight going to be Fergalicious. Big Jeff, I took Parsons sack. There we go. Jason, I love the sack play. There we go. Big Christian going Williams. All right. I like it. Spell dog, fair play, Prince. Thought I'd ask you. Big Whale, I might ladder Golden. Ooh, I like it. NFLHD.com, Red Circle, football, read a book, football. All right. Then they did it twice. Okay. NFLHD.com is paying a lot of money to get their bots in here tonight. Okay, perfect. Alicia's for the Phoenix Mercury. Tracy says, Sia says ladder Golden. Hey, Sia's in, I'm in. Bots with the beginner driver emoji. I love it. Well, I'm thinking Golden up to like 90 yards. Yeah. Matty Ice, good to see you, boy. All right, we got the TD picks in. Keep dropping them in. You can keep dropping them or drop them in the Discord. Let me get the picks up here, and then we'll bounce out. I'll give you some time to get yourself ready for the game, get all your bets and everything in. Aubrey, over 1.5 field goals, -1. I know. Like, that's the tough part, man, is like I couldn't play the special teams either, and I wanted to, man. Freddie Bear going Green Bay defensive. I like it. Go start at over 44.5, Martez. There we go. All right, let me get the picks up here. Here we go. All right, Packers money line, Dak Prescott, interception, -105. Josh Jacobs, touchdown. Jordan Love, 200+ passing yards, +100. Dak Prescott, over 236.5 passing yards. Dak Prescott, over 2.5 rushing attempts. And then finally, Packers and the Cowboys, over 46.5 at -115. So, Freddie Bear, yep, got that. Micah Parsons is going to put a frown so big on Jerry's face, he'll need another round of plastic surgery. Well, don't forget to bet the primetime special. Field goals, both teams 33+ yards. Absolutely. Great call there. Matty Ice just locked Cowboys over 1.5 team field goals. Bet 365, -130. There you go. Jacobs TD, hell yeah. Yeah. Micah over 3 offsides penalties. That would be funny. Josh Jacobs over 2.5 receptions. I love that. Love that. That's a great look. Japan, you're smart cookie. That's a good look. That's a real good look, man. That's a great one. All right, we'll get out of here. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and all your support of Drive the Line. I'm telling you, man, cannot do it without y'all. I mean, you guys are the best. So, everybody, thank you so much. Best of luck. Cash these tickets. Will be live tomorrow, normal time, 10 a.m. Eastern. But until then, everybody, best of luck. It's Cash these tickets. We'll see you in the morning. Thanks.
Who's got it better than us? No!